Hey everyone, how we all doing? Um, we're live. It's pretty cold, and just as I go live, my whole family enters just to throw me. Sandy's putting the dogs to bed. Um, yeah, how are we? I've got a cup of tea here that I'm using mainly to keep my hands warm, to be honest with you. But it's Twinings, yeah, Twinings decaf tea. It's really nice. Hi there, Ramon. Ramon from Moonscarab says, "Hi, Chris. Hello, everyone. Blessings to all. It's lovely to see you. Simon from the Hermit's Cave, and Deanne from Blue Crescent Tarot. And we've also got one more mystery watcher because I can see there's 4 people watching. um, how's everybody's week been? Have we been up to much? Oh, Jumping Spider 66. Hi, how you doing? Um, I think I have quite a good week actually. It's been very productive. I've had some, yeah, just quite a good week as far as work weeks go. Um, yeah, apparently my mind's gone blank though, so this might be a pretty quiet live if I can't get the chat going. Yeah. Deanne is out at the bus stop in a t-shirt. Oh yeah, I was talking to Deanne earlier and I was saying how cold it is here, and I think in Michigan they've got like freakishly warm weather. Or no, you didn't say freakishly, you said unseasonably warm weather. Um, so yeah, so Deanne's at the bus stop in a t-shirt. Lucky her. Meanwhile, I am in my own house wearing a hoodie, like warming my hands on a cup of tea. Um, what's it like for you, Simon? Have you? Oh, you've said there. I had to drive 35 miles through heavy snow. Oh, geez. All right. Okay. We don't have it that bad. When I was out walking the girls, it was starting to, it was as though it was trying to snow, but it wasn't quite coming to it. But like it was really cold. Um, Good work week for Deanne as well. Um, Marita's here. Hi, Marita. Says hi, Chris and everyone. Just lunch lurking. Oh, so you're on your lunch break. Oh, well, it's lovely to see you. I hope that you get something tasty for your lunch. Jumping Spider says storms here, lost power for 4 days. Oh shit, that's not good at all. Um, yeah, like touch wood, we're lucky enough that, well, so far that's not happened to us. Certainly not as far back as I can remember. But we have had some pretty stormy weather recently, haven't we? The dogs have started like scraping. Perfect. It all kicks off, doesn't it? As soon as I hit that live button, something happens. Deanne says it's fake spring, but I'm enjoying it. Um, Glad you're home, safe and cozy. Speaking of cozy, I've got a heater underneath here, so I think I might turn that on. It really just it's under the desk, so it really just keeps my legs warm. Um, but yeah, it's good. I don't like using it when the dogs are out of when they're out and about, because I don't know. Oops, a wee bit paranoid that one of them's going to burn themselves on it. Marita says it's 62 degrees in Cleveland. The groundhog was correct. um, we closed our college at midday, but trying to get out the car park was horrendous. Wheels spinning and the stench of burning rubber. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's not good. Um, Hopefully that clears soon. Do you know how long it's meant to be like that, Simon? I'm trying to think if I had anything to tell you. I actually took out my diary about 10 minutes ago to jot down just some notes. and something else caught my attention, and I didn't jot down any notes. I didn't even grab my pen. My pen is still up there. Um, and now I can't remember pretty much anything that that I was going to jot down. So that's clever. That was really really good of me. Simon says I think it's just a 24-hour thing. Rain's forecast, right? Hopefully the rain clears the snow then. As much as the snow is like very scenic and magical and nice to look at, like it is pretty uh like everything does tend to grind to a halt when we have extreme weather like that, doesn't it? Um, so yeah, yeah. Hopefully it clears up soon. Um, I thought is one of we're going to do a spread together, but not just yet. We'll do that a bit later. But remember a while back, I was going through the total tarot decks and showing them. Well, I've got a lot more now because I get one every month. I'm actually so like I get a deck every month, and you can see them down here, like all the decks that you get. But also, I've been collecting. You get one card for this Golden Art Nouveau deck every month, and I'm almost completed it. And I keep saying to myself, once I complete that, I'm going to cancel my subscription. Um, because this is all that I'm really doing it for now. Don't get me wrong, some of the decks that I've gotten have been really cool. Um, but I could just not pay whatever it is a month and use that money to buy a deck that I actually want, you know? So I think that's the plan. So there's one more, or like you get two editions like two volumes every month. Um, and you get one card for each volume. So you get two cards a month basically. And I've only got two cards left. I've got the King of Swords and the King of Pentacles, and then that's me got the complete Golden Art Nouveau deck. Um, so I need to cancel. You need to give 28 days notice. So I'm going to have to email them, but I want to make sure that I don't do it and then not get the last edition. Do you know what I mean? Um, so anyway, yeah, I'm just rambling, but that's the total tarot plan. So yeah, I mean, I was trying to remember what decks that I've showed you, like where I got to last time, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the last one that I showed was the Fairy Tarot. Um, so that makes the next one the Egyptian Tarot. Now I've actually got this deck already. I've got two versions of this deck already. Let me actually show you what I've got. Let's if I can find. Yeah, there it's there. So this was the first copy of the Egyptian tarot that I got, and I got this years and years and years ago. I want to say 2009, 2010-ish. I would have got this. Um, Low Scarabeo deck. The card stock is really good. It's quite sturdy, similar to US games. And as you can see, it's like you can tell by the sides, it's quite a well-used deck. Um, these are the backs. Uh, so yeah, that was the kind of just the tuck box version that I'd gotten. Uh, the the thing is, so if I could, I'll just show you. Like the Nine of Cups, right? It is mostly a pip deck, but I don't know if you can see very well there. But there's like Egyptian symbolism in the background, and the little white book is quite random. It doesn't really do a very good job of telling you what those symbols are and what they mean. However, I knew that there was like a bigger version, like a kind of a fuller version of the deck that has a proper guidebook. So I decided to get that, and that's I'm only going back. I actually think I got this around about the same time that I had COVID. So we're going back to 2021. No, 2020. 2020. Right. So we're going back to around about that time. I ordered this, and I mean the book's okay. It's a pretty decent size, pretty decent guidebook. Good information on the cards. Um, Not really sure how good a job it does at kind of telling you about the symbols in the back though, which is what I wanted it for, because like this is when we get to the minors, this is what we're getting. So that, for example, that it was the nine of chalices or nine of cups we saw there. Um, so here is the entry for the nine of chalices. So you can see that it's referring to the Ankh, which was there. Um, but it doesn't, like, there's a scarab there. It doesn't mention that. So it's okay, but it's not the best. What I really wasn't impressed with in this was the cardstock. Cardstock is awful. It, like just like, you know that I'm not a cardstock snob, and you very rarely hear me moaning about cardstock. But it's really thin, really not very kind of a durable at all. Um, it's it's kind of a like almost like a what I've heard people referring to as like cereal packet cardboardy type. And there's one of the cards. In fact, you can see it, right? I'll see if I just put them together. You can see. Well, actually, no, you can't really see it. Um, it's this. See that all around the side? How that's all like kind of a damaged. Um, so I wasn't really that impressed with the deck in that box, but I was like, do you know what? I've already got a copy of the deck that I'm happy with, that I've read with for years, and that I love. Cardstock's great. I was really only getting this for the book, so I'm not really going to make a big deal of it. And that was that. Um, I've also got some other books on kind of a just like Egyptian symbol, like on symbols, that all different symbols from different cultures in general, but also on Egyptian, like mythology and symbolism and stuff. So I thought, well, whatever I don't get from that book, I'll be able to research it and look it up and stuff. Um, in fairness, it's something that I've still to properly do, just like everything else. Um, so I don't know, maybe I'll kind of make a point in doing a deep dive into the Egyptian tarot at some point. Uh, but yeah, so anyway, it also came as part of Total Tarot, so now I've got 3 copies of it. So yeah, I thought I would kind of because I've not opened this, so I know that I've not gone through this one with you. So I thought I would open it up and just kind of go through the deck, let you see the images. I thought we could make a wee point each week when I'm live, if I'm not doing a throwback with Simon or like a round table reading or something. I thought I would just make a point and working my way through the total tarots and going through them. Thought that might be a nice idea. Sorry, I've been ignoring the chat, which isn't great. So let's see. Simon was talking about the rain. Okay, so Sandra's here, by the way. Hi, Sandra. How you doing? It says, I'm going to do the same, Chris. Cancel after I've got all the golden art nouveau. So you'll be the same, Sandra, I would imagine. Have you only got the 2 kings left? In which case, I would kind of get ready to cancel because, like I say, they need 28 days notice. To be honest, it's not that big a deal for me if I kind of like if I leave it too late. and I end up getting another edition. But what would really annoy me is if they started another deck, kind of like what they're doing with that, the Golden Art Nouveau, and I end up with like a couple of cards out of a deck. So I'm kind of hoping they don't do that, but I mean that's how they keep people subscribed, isn't it? So maybe they will. So we'll see. Simon says, I like the size of the Golden Art Nouveau tarot, but I couldn't deal with their subscription payments. Ah, right, okay, fair enough. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm kind of getting to that. I don't. I mean, it comes out my bank account and I don't miss it, but I'm kind of getting to that stage where it's like, well, I can't even remember what it is a month. Is it like £17 or something? I think it started out as like 8.99 a month, but it's crept up, and then you get charged more when they're sending you like the folders and binders and stuff. So yeah, I, it doesn't bother me that much, but I'm thinking to myself, well, I could always just put that aside and spend that on a tarot deck that I really want, you know. Um, like treat myself to a tarot deck that I've actually been kind of looking at rather than just being sent one that I might like, I might not. And that's a fair assessment of the total tarot decks. Like some of them, lovely, really like them. In fact, I've got two on my shelf here, like of my kind of a decks that I use all the time. And that's the Radiant Wise Spirit or the kind of a Dirty Palm, their version of the Dirty Palm, and the Marseille Tarot. So these two are sitting on my uh, frequently used next to my Light Seers, next to my Time and Reading Rider pack, next to like my Tarot of Abyss, Everyday Enchantment, my Soul cards. Um, so there are definitely some of the Total Tarot decks that I love. There are definitely some that I would never in a million years have bought myself, you know. But this is the thing, and this is how they get me. On the box, it tells you like which parts, which magazines, which volumes the deck comes with. And I like to have mine all sitting in order. So I'm that way where I don't want to like, I don't know, get rid of like just one of them because then they won't go in sequence. And I think that really bugged me. Now, I appreciate that I've got two decks up there, so they're kind of out of sequence from the lot, but there are spaces where they belong. So I've kind of made my peace with that. Gosh, I need to get a life. Sometimes I just hear myself speaking and I'm like, God, just get a life. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, that was the point. Rather than, you know, it being a lotto and I might get one that I like, I might not. I'm as well just saving the money and putting it towards a deck that I'll definitely like. Um, I gave away the ones that were pip decks from the Total Tarot subscriptions, says Sandra. Ah, okay. So have you given this away then, Sandra? Because this is mainly a pip deck, I would say. Um, I'm a pure sucker for Egyptian style decks. I've got the Tarot Nefertari as well, and that's kind of a like golden backs, and it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. I really like it. Simon says you and your pips, Sandra. So Sandra says, yeah, just the two kings to go. Yeah, we'll need to remind each other, Sandra, to send that cancellation email. Care Bear's here. Hi, Care Bear. How you doing? Uh, but many times there are two payments in the same month, says Simon. Are there? I don't think I've ever noticed. Uh, Sandra says, I asked them to stop sending me the binders and they did. All right, okay. That's pretty decent. Um, Simon says, plus, I'm not a huge Los Scarabeo lover. What, just the company in general, or do you mean the card stock, or like what do you mean, Simon? And if it's the company, is there like is there tea to be spilled? You know, is there gossip there? By all means, do share. Um, I do quite like a lot of the decks I've received from them, says Sandra. Um, you take me, I get rid of several. No, I don't. I just like having like them. I've got like my designated wee shelf there, as you can see. I've got them all sitting in order. I just like my stuff being arranged like that. I don't really care what anybody else does. Heather's here. Hi, Heather. How you doing? Um, Heather says, Sandra, one of my dreams is to make it to Glastonbury in this lifetime to revisit Avalon. I know I had a past life there. It's so beautiful. That's really funny, actually. So when I was looking at what spreads, I was looking at spreads for later on, and I've settled on a particular spread. But one of the ones I was thinking about was a past life spread from the Mary L guidebook. It's a 5 card spread. I kind of a well, I'm not against doing that at some point if people want to, but one of my screens just flickered off. Whenever it's weird. See when I turn on my heater down here, this screen, I've got 3 screens in front of me. This screen always flickers off and on. Um, yeah, the reason I decided not to go with the past life spread is because I know that not everyone subscribes to the idea of past lives. To be fair, I probably don't really 100%. I'm quite agnostic to the idea, let's put it that way. Um, I'm not going to turn around and say definitely not, but I'm not totally, my heart's not totally in the idea. So I'm not really sure how much benefit I would get out of a spread like that. And I thought, well, if I feel like that, then there might be, several of your lovely selves that also feel like that. And I'd rather if I was doing a spread that it's one that we can all get on board with and one we can all enjoy. But I did have in fact, I think that was what I was going to write down in my diary. I was going to ask generally what people think about the idea of past lives. Is it something that that you're a believer in? Is it something you're particularly not a believer in? Is it something you've just not thought much about? Like, what do we think about the idea of past lives? And would we want to just go for it? Just try it. Just try a wee past life spread and see what information we get from it at some point in the future. Was that about us reminding each other? Yeah, we totally should. Um, Jane the Seeker Tarot's here. Hi, you don't know me, but I'm very happy to catch you live. Oh, Jane, I do know you. We've chatted and we've been live at the same time. No, we've not. We've been in Gerald's lives, is what I'm trying to say. We've been in Gerald's lives at the same time, and we've said hi to each other. So I do absolutely know you. But thank you very much for being here. It's lovely to see you. Um, and Sandra's saying to Heather, Glastonbury is wonderful if you ever get a chance to go. Simon says, I don't spill tea. um, it's just a range that you're talking about, right? Okay, so it's just the decks that they tend to put out. You don't tend to resonate with you. I mean, that's fair enough. I get that. Simon, do you have Tarot de la Nuit from Los Scarabeo? Uh, I also have the Thelema and the Arcana. I think I've got both of those. I think both Thelema and Arcana came with Total Tarot. I don't think Tarot de la Nuit did, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Um, but yeah, I just ordered a Los Scarabeo from, I think it was a Los Scarabeo. It's the oh gosh, what's it called? The dark sun, black sun tarot, dark sun tarot. I got it from Oneness Emporium from Cheryl. Oh gosh, I forget what it's called now. That's terrible. But it appealed to me because it looked quite different. The images looked quite odd, and it has all the astrological correspondences on it, which I use when I'm reading Timon. So I thought, maybe I'll enjoy this deck. So I ordered it. So I'll maybe do a wee walkthrough of that when it comes. People are saying hi to Joe. Oh, there's Joe. Hi, Joe. How you doing? It's nice to see you. Um, which direction do you swing more to? No. Which direction do you more swing to, Chris? What kind of question is that? A gentleman never tells, Simon. No, I'm joking. What do you mean? Which direction do I more swing to? What does that mean? It's probably really obvious and that it's something based on something that I said 30 seconds ago, but I'm not really sure what you're asking me. uh, I was shocked when she said, "Oh, about past lives, about past lives." Right, got you. I've got you. I've got you. um, well, I think that's what you mean anyway. That's what I'm going to answer. So, as I was saying, I'm kind of probably more on the agnostic side. Like, I just don't know. I've not given it a great deal of in-depth research and thought. Um, I'm respect people either way. I don't have any strong feelings on it. Um, just generally how I feel about anything that way. Um, yeah, let's see. So, Blue Chris, I was shocked when he said he considered a past life spread, says Deanne. Um, I do believe in past lives, says Sandra. Simon says my phobias have to come from somewhere. Okay, interesting. Belief in past lives is my whole life, kinda, says Deanne. Right. Uh, Care Bear says past lives. I'm not sure, but I'm still curious. V Kestrel's here. Hi V, how you doing? The Night Sun Tarot. Yes, that was it. Thank you, Sandra. Do you have it, Sandra? Because I messaged a few people and was like, "Do you have the Night Sun Tarot? What are your thoughts on it?" And there was only Jen, as in hen, Jen. She has it. Um, and I'm not sure if anyone else does. I never even thought to message Cheryl because me and Cheryl message each other on Instagram, and obviously she has it because she'll have a million of them. Uh, but it's funny, I was messaging her after I ordered it, and I was like, I've been kind of a try to get people's opinions on this deck, and I never even thought to just message you. Um, you know, Heather says, I would like to believe that we don't have to keep coming back over and over, but my experience seems I've had quite a few. I would like to be done with a lifetime. Um, okay. V says, I'll be listening and lurking and occasionally commenting where I can. It's nice to be here. It's nice to have you here, V. Uh, with your belief in past life, right? Okay, so I think I've answered that now. Um, I agree, Simon. I have a severe snake phobia, says Heather. I've had nightmares being tossed into a den of them. Oh gosh, that's horrible. Um, I used to have a snake phobia. I've now got two pet snakes. I kind of got over my phobia. Uh, for me, I've had terrible phobias in my life, but I'm lucky enough that I've had the opportunity to kind of overcome them. So I've a probably still do. To be fair, I have a fear of heights. But when around about 2008, 9, 10-ish kind of time, I worked in a department in my old work in the supermarket where you the hanging signs that hang from the ceiling, the kind of advertise what sales are on that week. So I worked in the admin department, and it was our job to change over those signs every week. And it was quite in the store that I worked in. It was quite high ceiling, so I had to go on up in the big kind of a. It was like a staircase type thing. It wasn't just like like a ladder. Um, it was like a big proper staircase ladder type thing. But I used to go up on the steps and change them over, and through kind of a practice and through time, I kind of I don't want to say overcame it, because to this day I've not done it I've not have to do that in a long time, and now I would probably be quite fearful. Um, but I was able to kind of just uh, I didn't let it get the better of me. I took control of it a wee bit, and I kind of know that if I need to, I can do that again. Um, so it takes away the power a wee bit. Uh, so yeah, but I totally appreciate people's fears and people's phobias. So like, I've got pet snakes and I've had them on the channel before, but I've always tried to, like, you know, be upfront and say, look, you're going to see a snake here or something like that, or I'd maybe make it obvious from the what do you call it, the thumbnail or something. Uh, yeah. Anyway, I'm harping on. Ben Ryan says, "What have I walked into? What's all this about swinging?" Hey, Chris. Hi, Ben. How are you? Um, that's our Ben, isn't it? Uh, I'm pretty sure Ben Ryan. I, Ben, if it is you, I know that you can. I saw you in a live recently, and I know that your name had changed, and I'm assuming that it was to Ryan as your middle name, but I can't remember if that was. Anyway, I think it's you, and if it is, hey Ben. If not, hello other Ben. It's very nice to have you here. Um, V Kestrel says, I don't believe in past lives, but I would participate in a themed spread. It would be fun and interesting. Yeah, I think it would. To be fair, I think I've done this spread before with a group, um, and it's the aim of it is to get wisdom from your past life. But I guess if you don't, or if we don't subscribe to the idea of a past life, that wisdom can just be coming from a different place. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think that the spread is completely exclusive to people that subscribe to that idea. So, um, Sandra says, no, I don't have it, Chris. Or the uh, Night Sun Tarot. I have a couple of past life decks, says Marita. Oh, very nice. What decks have you got that are specifically past life themed, Marita? So Heather says, this lifetime, I don't want any more after this. Right, okay. Okay. Um, I think I what I want to then go on and ask is, I want to start going into the philosophy of, right, okay, well, what is going to happen then after this lifetime? But I think that's maybe a whole other tangent that I could go down. And we could maybe save that conversation for another time, couldn't we? Uh, I got stuck once as a kid and couldn't move. Absolute terror, and felt like a far memory, says Simon. Oh, wow. Um, Ben says, I don't mind snakes, it's spiders that I don't like. Yeah, my husband Sandy, he's the same. He hates spiders. Um, Heather says, I get that feeling, Simon. I've had dreams like that, dreams or memories, very interesting. Um, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Yeah, Benson, yeah, it's me, previously known as Beneficial Tarot. Yeah, I thought so, but I just wanted to check. Right, we've cleared that up then, that's fine. Uh, I watched a movie about a Puritan woman being crushed under a board for being a witch, and it triggered a dream that felt like a memory of it happening to me, says Marita. Oof, that's horrible. It's horrible what they used to do to women days gone past. It's horrible what they used to do to lots of people in days gone past, to be fair. Um, when I was a teenager and a young adult, I used to have recurring dreams of being in combat, says Donna. And hi, Donna, by the way, I don't think I've said hi to you yet. Um, Maybe it's your first life, says Jane. Uh, oh wow, Marita, that must have felt horrifying. Yeah, it must have. Uh, okay, so you prefer to be a spirit guide. Cool. Deanne says, when I was little, I had a ton of premonitions and also past life memories. Took a long time to sort out which was which in some cases. Yeah, I can imagine that being quite confusing. Oh, I have the Phoenix cards and the Doreen Virtue past life oracle. Okay. Natalie is here. Hi, Natalie. How are you doing? It's 8:10 a.m. Friday morning here in South Australia. Nice. Well, welcome from South Australia. It is, wait, 8:10? Ah, right, okay. You must be in one of these places that's like a weird half hour out rather than just an hour, because it's like 9:40 here, uh, 9:40 p.m. here in Scotland in the UK. Uh, I definitely had a past life on the Titanic, says Heather. I was looking for books on the ship as a child in my elementary school library. I've also known that the story of what happened isn't truthful. Okay. Ben says, I get deja vu a lot. I don't know if that's related to past life experience. And Jane says, my son told me about his past lives when he was 2 years old. There was no way he could have made that up, just saying. Cool. Um, right. I think I said I was going to go through these Egyptian tarot cards and then kind of I just get sidetracked with the chat, but that's fine. Um, what time are we on? We're on 20 to 10, so you can spend 20 minutes having a wee nosy at these. Here, let me turn the table camera on actually, so you can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, we can have a wee nosy at these, and then we can maybe catch up with chat and do the spread. So is this? Yeah. Okay. So the backs are the same as the other two decks. The card stock is the same as the other Total Tarots. I don't think it's quite the same as the older deck that I've got, but it's nice card stock, just like all of the Total Tarots have been. So no complaints there. So we've got a couple of title cards, and then we fire right in. So let me just zoom this in, and I'll just browse through these as we're chatting. So this is the Egyptian tarot. Um, to- One thing that really irks me about Total Tarot though is they don't tell you the creators on it. So here we go. Giordano Berti and Tiberio Gonard, and the artist is Sylvana Alacia. Um, it was Sylvana that created the Nefertari tarot as well. Let me see, Tarot Nefertari. So that's this one. Just to kind of give you a very quick browse. So this is the Tarot Nefertari. Got these beautiful golden backgrounds. It is fully illustrated. It's not a pip deck. And this is like old style Lo Scarabeo with the the different translation translated titles. Uh, and she's also done an Egyptian oracle, an Egyptian gods oracle, which I don't. In fact, there it's there. So that's this, and I'll give you a very quick look at that. Oh, Heather's liking the Tarot Nefertari. Yeah, it's a beautiful deck. It's funny. I don't think I've actually done a walkthrough or shown it. It's another one that I've had for years and years. So this is the Egyptian Gods Oracle, and I love this. I think this is beautiful. I love like the kind of the Egyptian symbolism and like the hieroglyphics and stuff in the background. Um, yeah, and these are the backs of this deck. Beautiful backs. So that's Sylvia Alacia. No, sorry, not Sylvia. Sylvana Alacia. And I'll pop that there. Okay, so let me just quickly browse through. So we've got our full. So I think that's one thing that might be different from the. I think that there's titles on the old one. Yeah, so the old one has titles on it. Again, the old style, kind of a low Scarabeo. So Knave of Swords. Yeah, the Chariot. So it's got the kind of a translated titles, whereas this kind of just has the numbers, which was fine. It works for me. You know, but if you weren't as, I maybe wouldn't recommend a deck like that to an absolute beginner because, you would need to be using the guidebook to know what you're looking at. So we've got our Magician. High Priestess is a beautiful card. Empress. Well, the chat's moved quite a lot. Ben says, yes, Simon, I'm convinced I watched Tavel and Dean when they won the ice thingy, yet I wasn't born when that happened. Jane, there is a show called Ghost Inside My Child, and they tell stories of parents with kids who go through night terrors, etc., because of past life memories. I can see that our lover's card is more Marseille style than Rider style. It's got that kind of a choice element to it, which is quite cool. Do you know, this looks different from the way that I remember the other one. Let me just compare the lover's image. Check that they are actually the same deck and I'm not just talking rubbish. Well, there's Justice actually, but see if I can quickly find the lovers. Because that's just not the way that I remember it. No, that is. It's the same. Same image. I'd just forgotten it. I'm going to leave that to one side. I should probably have put that in order and done a wee comparison. Um, I get quite a bit too, Ben, says Sandra. Simon feels old because Ben wasn't born when the ice thingy. Um, so we see we've got Justice at 8 here. So this is very much kind of this would be more akin to a Marseille style, with it being Justice at 8, Strength at 11, with the Lovers card. Even the fact that it's pips and not so much fully illustrated minors. Sorry, Donna had said, I used to get deja vu also, Ben. It seems the older I get, the less of these experiences that I have, probably due to being closer to my next life than my previous one, says Donna. Um, so interesting, Jane. They say that children are very perceptive and can remember things. Heather says that's interesting. I remember those names. I watched them as a kid skating. I've seen that, amazing. But with that being said, I don't discount anyone's feelings on the subject, says Jane. It's fascinating, Donna. I do love these kinds of conversations, says Ben. Um, they're popular here in the ice community, says Ben. Um, right, that was when I showed the Nefertari tarot, so I'm getting close at the bottom. I like that deck much better. So you like the Nefertari one better? Oh, maybe I should be showing that instead, but maybe we can look at that another day. Um, was it early 80s, Simon? I always think I should have lived all through that decade. Jane is saying, "Oh no, I can't have another Chris made me do it deck or another someone made me do it deck." One deck we can't do a throwback on, Chris. Heather's got to run. Have a great night, and everyone in chat. Um, See you later, Heather. You have a good night. Or it's not night for you. Enjoy the rest of your day, I should say. I love this moon card. I think this moon card is stunning. I love the black and white pyramids, and the white and the black kind of dogs or jackals. Yeah, I think this is stunning. Um, the moon itself is quite subtle compared to some moon cards. Um, Best decade ever apart from Thatcher. Yeah. Um, yeah, I was when I was born. It was a Thatcher government, wasn't it? In '88. What was it? The early '90s that John Major took over from Thatcher. Um, it's our world card, beautiful world card with the dove. The Cars song started the whole Band Aid Live Aid thing. There was a report on Ethiopia, and Drew played in the background. It was heartbreaking, and Bob Geldof watched it. Um, Donna's now got an earworm. As far as Egyptian goes, this is the best I've seen. This one, you mean this deck here, Simon? Or are you referring back to the Tarot Nefertari? I think you're probably talking about this one. Uh, my youngest niece is like ghost inside my child, extreme problems with night terrors, etc. Um, and the things that she says, like she's been here before. Oh wow, this is a really pretty deck. Can't hear that song without thinking of that news report. Yeah, Ben, me too. I love Egyptian imagery as well. I'd love to do like a deep dive, like a proper study into like because it probably wouldn't take that much as well because like each card has something, but it's not like pure overloaded with imagery, with symbolism and stuff. You know, you've got the eye of I think this is the Eye of Ra. I'm not sure what that is. Uh, but apart from that, you've just got the five cups. But it's a beautiful, beautiful card. You know, I love the way that it's on the kind of a papyrus background. Yeah, Donna, she's only just starting to be slightly better, and she's 7 next week. Um, she was prime minister for all of the 80s, 1979 to 1990. Um, Sandra loves Egyptian imagery too. Um, early 90s, John took over from Thatch. Yeah, um, quite magical. Don't I feel my age now? I graduated high school the year that you were born. Was that me in '88? Or is that nine of chalice? It's chalices rather than cups, but I suppose in this deck there's no labels, so we can call it what we want. Um, it really is, Ben. I love Egyptian things, and I watch a lot of Egyptian documentaries. Tony's here. Hi, Tony. Evening, Chris and all. Is this a Total Tarot one? I think I have it somewhere. It is, Tony. This is Total Tarot. This is the Egyptian Tarot. Um, I was saying earlier, though, I've actually got 3 copies of this deck now. I do love a good Egyptian deck. Love documentaries about the pyramids. The Egyptian Art Nouveau is very pretty, says Marita. Just bought Cleopatra to watch with Elizabeth Taylor. I've never seen it before, says Ben. The Egyptian deck I have and love is the Journey into Egypt Tarot by Julia Kuchia Watts. Yeah, I've seen that deck about. I don't think it's available now though, is it? It's the same as there's another one that she's done. I forget what it is now. But there's uh, Julia's done quite a few decks that are absolutely stunning. These cards keep sliding. Um, and these are the discs or coins or pentacles or shields. Can't quite remember what they're called. Um, 88 alum. Donna says went on a French class trip to the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. We were meant to be looking at French paintings, but I ran to the Egyptian art section. It's out of production now. Yeah, I thought it would be. I do like Los Caribbean decks, but not all of them. Liberty is next. Looking forward to it. Yeah, we were talking about. So Sandra and I are both subscribed to Total Tarot, and Tony, but we're going to unsubscribe because we've only got 2 cards left uh, for the Golden Art Nouveau to complete it. So we're both planning on cancelling the subscription after this next one. Ben says, "Yeah, I think I'd have to watch it in parts." Excuse me, sorry, I muted to sneeze there because I didn't want to sneeze into the microphone for a change. That's the film because Simon's saying it's a long film. Uh, okay, so these are the ones. So I think this is a beautiful deck, especially if you kind of if you like pip decks. Um, if you're partial to a pip deck because they don't lock you into particular meanings, but you maybe don't necessarily want that Marseille style. You maybe just want a wee change. This is a really nice deck for that. Um, I just put the golden one in my cart yesterday, says Marita. So what are the symbols here for the quartz? So this is the page, or the knave, I think it's called. It's not a page, it's a knave. The knave of wands. This is the knight of wands. The queen. Oh, and the king. And then we have the swords. Not sure if they're called swords or scepters or something in this deck, but beautiful. The three. So see, you're not locked into that kind of a heartbreak, sadness, that piercing heart imagery. Four of Swords. Oh, sweet guy he looks very pleased, doesn't he? I don't want to say I'm probably making fun of something that's I really shouldn't be making fun of. I'm not making fun of it, you know what I mean? But what does that look like? It looks like he's very pleased and he should be. Um, anyway, moving on. Or five. Oh dear. I really need to get a wee bit more maturity in me. Six. So we've got that kind of a boat imagery at the bottom there. Seven. Eight. Crocodile. Oh, excuse me. The nine. Yawning away. The 10. Have you got any other Egyptian decks, Chris? So yeah, the Tarot Nefertari Ben that I was shown, and I think people quite liked it because it's got this. The cards have all got this. Um, like the shiny gold backgrounds. Ben, don't watch The Vampire Next Door on Prime. Terrible low budget, slow acting, says Tony. Sir Knave. Actually, it's quite similar to the Knave of Wands, does it not? Hang on, I'm feeling cheated here. That's odd. Let's finish going through them and then I'll. Yeah, so that's the Knight, Queen, and the King. Right, now let's look at the. We're going to have to look at all the courts now because I want to see if they do this with all of them. Another thing I've never noticed about this deck. Um, Ben says, I don't see a smile on his face. Those are his knees, says Marita. Thanks for the heads up, Tony. I clocked that one. I'll give it a miss. It's kind of suggestive, isn't it? Says Donna. Mastering your tools. Have you guys seen What We Do in the Shadows? It's raunchy, but it's hysterical. Let's have a wee nosy. I'll zoom out and let's have a nosy at these courts all together. Start with the king, the queen, the knight, and what on earth did I do with the knave? Oh, there is a knave of swords. And then we've got the knave, the knight, the queen, and the king of wands. So the knaves look the same, almost the same. You know, they've changed some of the kind of symbols around. They've obviously changed the suit, and as to what he's kind of sitting on, it's a bit different. The two queens are quite different. The two kings are quite different. Let's have a look at some of the other suits. So here's the discs. You can just about see it down here. The knight, queen, king. So again, the queen's totally different. I'd say the king's pretty much totally different. The knights appear to be all facing the same way, but they're not that similar. Seems to be the knaves. They all seem to be doing this thing with their writing. I suppose the knight, sorry, the knave, the page is kind of a messages and stuff. So maybe it's just a kind of a nod to that, but I don't know. And let's see, I'll stick this up here. So this is our cups, our king, queen, knight, and our knave of cups. Yeah, it's not quite as bad as, like, for example, the Witches Tarot, the Canon Reed Witches Tarot, which is just the exact same image, but they've changed up the colours. Um, I love that deck though. But yeah, it's interesting that particularly in the knaves, they are very, very similar right through the deck. So that was the Egyptian Tarot from Total Tarot. Um, that was quite fun. That's not the right box that I'm putting that in. That's the other box. There are so many low budget films on Prime. They look like they've been filmed on a camcorder, says Simon. Yeah, and the annoying thing is on Prime, like you have to pay extra to not have adverts and stuff now, don't you? Which is a bit of a cheek, to be quite honest. Um, like why? I'm already paying for it. Why is it that I now have to pay extra to get what I had before? Uh, Yeah, it's just annoying. Uh, I think the card stock might be the same between the two actually. Mars says, I'm late to the table, just discovering the show on Hulu. Just catching up on comments, says Deanne. They just started that in Prime. Yeah, I know. I know. So we've just gotten used to paying it over the years. And now all of a sudden they've decided that we're just going to add adverts, and I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, they're going to do what they're going to do, aren't they? Right. Maybe at some point soon I'll do a wee. I'll either show it on a live or I'll do a walkthrough of the Tarot Nefertari. But just to show you some of the cards again, because it is a really beautiful deck. So it's like, so I'm saying it's got these beautiful um, reflective gold backgrounds. And it's not the same as the Egyptian tarot, it's totally different images. Death card is beautiful. Sun card. And it's fully illustrated, like I'd said. Um, I'd say it's kind of a mostly Smith Waite type images, I think. Well, although I'm saying that, I'm now looking through this and thinking that's not very Smith Waite at all. But yeah, fairly illustrated scenic minor cards. I wonder if you can buy it now. It's one of the newer versions without multiple languages. So my one does have the multiple languages, Simon. Um, but perhaps if you buy it now, you might, it might come without all the languages. That's if you can still buy it. Um, there's ads in the middle of Neighbours. So Neighbours was always on Channel 1 here. Wait, no, that's a lie. I'm sure they changed it to Channel 5 when I was quite young. So I'm maybe talking rubbish now. Um, Now I feel cheated by Total Tarot. That's much nicer. Oh, the Tarot Nefertari. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful deck. So it is. I love it. Oh, my tea's gone cold, but I'm thirsty. Right. Who feels like pulling some cards together? Um, so the spread that I've looked out is all about unlocking your potential. Um, so I wanted to do a bit of an empowering spread with everyone. Now, some of us believe in like our higher self. Some of us believe in some sort of divinity or deity. Whatever you believe in, this is to help you connect with that and connect with that kind of a better part of yourself. Your kind of a full potential. For me, I think of it a wee bit as like my, like my higher self, like my total potential. The shoes that I hope to step into one day, type thing. I'm going to use the new voice tarot for me. I'm going to pull cards from this deck. So this is Ross Salerno's newest deck, Rider Waite Smith style. beautiful images. I will just give a bit of a warning. There is some nudity throughout the deck, so I might pull some cards that have got some penis action on them, or you know, various other naked body bits. So just to let you know that might be on there. Um, Nefertari is about $50, right? Okay. I don't know, is that good or is that pretty expensive in the US, Marita? I thought Neighbours was axed. Yeah, it came back on Prime. It did, but it won't lay down. Welcome to 5:10 p.m. when Ryan starts imitating Chris. I don't know whether to be flattered or I suppose it depends what he's imitating and what he's doing. If he's doing like a really camp Scottish impression, then I don't know. I don't know if that's all that flattering for me. You'll need to send me a video of Ryan's Chris impression, Deanne. Or would that just like would we all end up getting sucked into the phantom zone? Would that just cause a glitch in the matrix? Um, Looks like all the versions available are still multilingual. Okay. So on the dearer side, I don't like paying more than $25. I know it's cute. He just has to do it once every week. He would never let you record it. Oh, that's a shame. He'll probably be raging that you've told us all. I mean, this deck is massive, and I can just about get my hands around it to riffle shuffle it, but it's pretty difficult. And I've got big hands. Someone actually commented on my interview with Ross, I think just today or yesterday, commenting on the size of it and saying that they can't shuffle it because their hands are smaller. So I'm lucky that I've got bigger hands and I can shuffle it, you know, reasonably easily. But yeah, no, loved them in Priscilla. Who did you love in Priscilla? I think I saw Duncan James in Priscilla. Duncan from Blue. I've also seen him playing Frankenfurter. Big hands, big deck, and then Ben saying, "Stop showing off about your big hands, Chris." Don't shame me. Don't shame me and my big hands. Uh, but to show you like the size comparison, if you don't have this deck, that is, this is it compared to like your standard US games size. So you see what I mean? It's like a hell of a lot bigger than your usual tarot deck size. Mm. You knew that was coming. I tried. Yeah, I know. Uh, yeah, Simon saw Duncan play him as well. Yeah, he was really good, wasn't he? I like him. He seems like a decent guy. Simon says it's a myth. Trust me. um, and then Tony says, "Oh, I thought you were going to put it next to your shoe for a minute there." No, I wasn't going to put it next to my shoe. No, I don't. I'm not currently wearing shoes. I'm in my socks. I'm actually wearing white socks with dark blue jeans. How's that for a fashion faux pas? Oh, hi, Hershey. Sending blessings and positive vibes to all. It's lovely to see you. We're about to do a wee tarot spread together. So, everyone that is joining in with me, what deck are you using? And what size is your deck? And that would have been funny for everyone who thinks that when I say deck, it sounds like something else. This is a 6 card tarot spread. It is all about unlocking your true potential, just so you know. Sandra says, what's a myth? Classic Americana, white socks with any jeans. So Care Bear's using the Morgan Greer. Uh, Tony's telling us that her deck is pocket size, but she's not telling us what one she's using, unless I've just not seen it. Good job it wasn't a New Zealander saying that, says Simon. And Jumping Spider 66 is using the Crow Tarot. Very nice. Okay. Right. So for all of us that are doing the spread together, the first card. So this is really just it's a 6 card spread. I'll show you this a wee second. So if I go left screen, no, it's not going to show you. I know the screen's gone black. Just bear with me 2 wee seconds here. It's not Dale. Dale's the middle one. Nope. So it must be this one. Yeah. So that's the spread there that we're using. It's from Emerald Lotus Divination. And you can see the way that the thing's set out. It goes 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. I'm just going to be doing like kind of a 1, 2, 3 across the top, and then 4, 5, 6 along the bottom. I'm a wee bit funny when it comes to like the positions all being skew with like that. But you feel free to do it whatever way you kind of see fit. Um, let's see. Ben is using Twice Told Tarot at standard size. Tony says, is that average Ben of Wands? Marita, is you going to use the Egyptian Art Nouveau? Average to me. Oh, the smut. Oh, the smut that we have descended into. Very unlike you. I store my deck with a lapis lazuli ink. Oh, that's beautiful. Right. Okay. This is now a very serious business. We're going to pull some tarot cards. I'm just joking. For anyone that actually knows me, you know that I don't take tarot too seriously. But let's start the spread. So the first position is, how can I better connect with my highest self? So again, for me, my highest self is like my kind of my higher self, my super conscious. It's it's me at my true potential. Okay, so how can I better connect with my highest self? And I've got the Seven of Cups. For me, this is a card of choices. It's also a card of illusion, of fantasy and illusion. and kind of the choices that all come with that. For me, this is about kind of you know, thinking about the choices that I'm presented with, and not just thinking about them, but seeing how I feel about things, trust my instincts on things. Um, so maybe that's what it's saying. How do I connect with my highest self? Trust my instincts a wee bit more. Um, Maybe I don't kind of give my instincts enough credit. Um, the seven it's the cups card, so it's a card about emotions and connectivity. If this was the two of swords, the two of swords is also a card about choice, but for me that's the card that says, we maybe need to look at this logically. We need to take the emotion out of this situation, and actually look at the facts. Whereas the Seven of Cups choice card for me is, what does your gut tell you? What do your instincts tell you? Because your eyes might be deceiving you a wee bit. You know, there might be a wee bit of illusion going on here. It's also sometimes a card about like that. Speaking of Prime and Netflix and all that, the Netflix scenario, the kind of an overwhelm of choice. Um, but listen to my instincts more, I think, is how I'm going to answer that kind of a spread position with this. So let me put it in the chat. So how can I better connect with my highest self? Um, Deanna's using Everybody's Tarot by Sarah Kathleen. Ben has pulled the Knight of Wands. So how would you interpret that, Ben? Um, Deanne has pulled Temperance. Marita's got the High Priestess. That's apt. Yeah. And Care Bear has got the Sun. So quite a few majors in that for people. So Ben, your Knight of Wands. I don't know about you, but for me, that's an action card. It's very much about burning off energy. Just get out there and do the thing. Don't think too much about it. So connecting with your highest self seems to be in doing the things that you're passionate about. Um, Married to the High Priestess, and I suppose Deanne as well. Temperance and High Priestess are maybe a wee bit more kind of a calm, reflective cards than when compared to the Knight of Wands. So maybe for like say for Deanne, Temperance could be talking about pulling different elements together. Temperance is an alchemy card. It's a combining fire and water card. So about bringing together the different elements of life to create something new. You know, so it's very much a sciencey alchemical card for Diana, I would say. Marita, the High Priestess, so that's kind of a connecting with your intuition, connecting with your own inner psychic, with your own intuition, with your own inner voice, I guess, and that kind of a knowledge that you will hold inside. And Care Bear the Sun, so that's quite a sweet card to have for this one. This is kind of a connecting to your sense of joy, your sense of truth, but also like so in the Marielle tarot, the, she talks about the sun as it's when the fool realizes that he is the god, that he's the sun all along, he's the god in the sky. So this deity, this thing that he's been aspiring to, when he reaches the sun card, that is when he recognizes that it's been him all along. Um, and it's the sense of joy that comes with that, with realizing that you don't have to be anyone else. Just you are enough. Um, and it's really quite a beautiful message. And so it's quite nice to have the sun in that position, I think. Um, Jumping Spider has got the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So That's interesting because that to me that's a really like there's stuff you need to do in that card. So the Two of Pentacles for me is my card that says, you're trying to take on too much right now. You're trying to spin too many plates at once. You're having a bit of trouble saying no. Um, and it's asking you to look at all of the kind of stuff that you've got going on and try and prioritize and try and do less so as that it will let you do the things, the things that do need to be done, let you do them really well. So how can you connect to your higher self? For me, that's all about kind of a setting boundaries and also kind of a prioritizing and not taking on too much, valuing yourself, valuing your own time and valuing your free time. So that's quite sweet. Tony's going to catch up tomorrow with her pocket tabla Monday. Is way past her bedtime, night all. Ben with the Knight of Wands, laughing. Yeah. Um, what deck is this again? I love the art. This is the new Voice Tarot by Rosario Salerno, and it is a beautiful deck. I really like that it came up for me, says Deanne. I've struggled with it before in this context, but have been getting more comfortable with it. I like what you said about sun. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Ben. Okay. The next position is a clear way that I can better connect with others. So, a clear way that I can better connect with others. For me, I've got the Four of Wands. Um, so that's quite a simple one for me. That's just about kind of a celebrating the good stuff in life together. Taking those opportunities to come together with the other people around about me, with my community, with my family, with my friends, with the people that I care about. Taking those opportunities to come together and celebrate things. Um, Pure and simple. That is how I can better connect with others. It's at times of happiness and joy and, just celebrating things. So try to think, I know that there's a wedding coming up this year. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to kind of a coming together with everyone at that time to celebrate together. But it's also things like I keep kind of telling myself like when we're doing family stuff and having get-togethers and stuff. Um, I don't know. I want to be brave and bring my cards with me and read for people, um, which is something I don't really do with the people around about me in my life. I don't really read their cards very often. So I used to do it when I was younger, but it's just something that I've fallen away from. But I would like to connect with people in that way as well as in a kind of a celebratory way. So sorry, let me just post. Let me type in what that was. So a clear way I can better connect with others. Hi, Ellie Ritual. It's nice to see you. Um, okay, what did you guys all get? You've all gone quiet on me. The chat just stopped. Um, what did you guys get for how you can connect with others? Okay, so jumping spider, you got lovers. Interesting. Interested to. Oh, Care Bear got the lovers too. There's two of you have got the lovers. Two in a row. Jumped out, and you're a Gemini as well, right? Okay. So I'm interested in hearing what your thoughts are on this because different people interpret the lovers in very different ways. So tell me what you think about your lover's card. Ugh, tempted to drink that tea, but it's going to be bouffing. Um, so just to talk about the lovers a wee bit, and you've probably heard me talking about this before, but so if we think about the Fool's journey, the Fool has come through cards like the Empress and the Emperor. The kind of a parent type cards. He's learned love and nurturing from the Empress. He's learned order and stability and like definition and structure and all that stuff from the Emperor. The Hierophant is the kind of a community card. It's our teachers. It's kind of a teaching us the traditions and the expectations of our community. It's about learning custom and things like that. Um, Passing down tradition. So with all these cards, we're basically learning what is expected of us from the world around about us. And the next card after the Hierophant is the Lovers. And this is where the Fool comes up against this element of choice. And in the Marseille, it's presented as like a man choosing between two women. Um, Sometimes one of them is depicted as his mother, and the other one is depicted as this beautiful blonde. Sometimes one of the women is depicted as, like the beautiful one, and then the other one is depicted as like, kind of like the sensible choice. And that's kind of at the point to it. One of them is the sensible choice, and the other one is you know, it's what he desires, it's what his heart desires. So all of a sudden he's at this crossroads between, what's expected, the sensible choice, what's expected of him, what he's learned to have to do through the first five majors, or does he go with his heart? Does he do what he wants? Does he put himself first? Does he choose himself for a change? So in our life's journey, that lovers is often kind of a what we experience when we're growing up. When we reach puberty, we start to have these feelings, these desires. We start to kind of even like mentally and psychologically, we start to develop our own mind, and we tend to start rebelling from our parents at that point. Um, I think this is all kind of from 78 degrees of wisdom to some degree or another, just in case you're wondering where I'm getting all this from. But yeah, so I've heard people that say the lovers is not about love, it's about choice. For me, it's about both, though. You know, that is definitely, if thinking about it in terms of the fool's journey, he is making a choice, but it's a choice about, it's about love, So why should we take the love out of it and leave the choice? Why, we could just as easily take the choice of it out of it and leave that sexual passion, love element in it. Um, so I I don't think that there's a set meaning there. I think we can see it whatever way we want. But to take it back to the to both of you have got it. Hang on, what's going on here? Deanne, have you got the lovers too? Am I being punked? Like you all go quiet for ages, and then all of a sudden you're all pulling the lovers. What's going on here? So that's three of you that have pulled the lovers card. Um, okay, so the lovers is also obviously pretty prominent here. Um, so in that position, I think how do I better connect with others? Well, I mean, there's an obvious, quite carnal definition that we can take from it. So if that's the way you see it, then fair enough. Um, I think as well though, like people say, like you need to be your true self. In order to better connect with other people, if you're false and if you're fake, people will see through it. Like it's always the advice that we get if we're like going for job interviews or if we're meeting new people, we're always told just be yourself at the end of the day. Um, and that choice that the fool has between doing what he's supposed to do and doing what and following his kind of a true desires. Um, that to me is kind of like that. It's that you've got the choice of doing what's expected, putting on that sensible kind of a persona, or just be yourself. Just follow your heart. Just be yourself. Be you. So I kind of see that slightly in that way. Like, how do I connect with other people? Just be you, just be yourself. Don't try and kind of dull yourself down or hide yourself or kind of put on this more public appropriate version of yourself. Just be you, like unapologetically. Right, just get down off my soapbox. Marita got the death cards. I opened to the death card, but that's too obvious. So I shuffled and drew the world. How's the death card too obvious? How can I better connect with others? Death world. Um, I mean, how would you interpret both those cards then, Marita? Richie's here. Hi, Richie. How are you doing? We're just pulling some cards together, Richie. Um, let's see. I was late pulling because I was eating, but that's really what I got, says Deanne. Deanne's got to go to take Max to karate, so I hope Max enjoys karate, Deanne. Tell him I was asking for him. I'll see you both soon. When you're dead, you're connected to the oversoul. Fair enough. Okay, card three. Where can I look for inspiration? Where can I look for inspiration? Richie says he's in bed looking for listening to the live. Where can I look for inspiration? Oh, remember I said penis warning? Well, penis warning, because I've got the King of Cups. Uh, so for inspiration, I've got the King of Cups. Um, to me, this is a card about connecting with other people. It's a card about kind of a negotiating. You're that kind of a safe space that people can go and almost like a mediator type energy. I don't know how that really answers the question though. Maybe there's someone like that in my life that I can be inspired by. Um, or maybe it is just that connecting with other people that does inspire me. That's probably more likely the case. Um, or maybe I should just pour myself a glass of wine and have a bath like this guy's doing. For me at the moment, and I'm in a place of figuring out being around others. The choice of stepping back is coming up. Needing some space at the moment from others may help connections in the long run. Okay, okay. Well, I hope that, you know, it sounds like, it sounds like quite a lot that you're going through. So I hope that you're okay. And I hope that you're working your way through it okay, Jumping Spider. Um, see, Malamir's here. Hi, Malamir. How you doing? Listening into the tail ends. We're halfway through the spread. Um, Simon's doing much better. Uh, Marita's inspiration is the Ace of Swords. Okay. Let's see. The World card for me. all majors here so far, says Care Bear. Interesting. So the World card. Um, so where can I look for inspiration? The World. So just that's quite an obvious answer then, isn't it? Just look at the World. Um, but also like the World card is a card about, to me, it's about being fulfilled and being right where you're meant to be. So that suggests that as far as inspiration is concerned, like you've got a lot going for you right now, which is quite positive, quite nice. Ben's got the World as well, right? What are you doing to me? Are you all like syncing up or something? Are you all going to be one person by the end of this live? What's going on? Um, this deck is very literal. Says Marita. I need the break. Says Richie, catching up on Imbolc, cleansing and reading. Very nice. Okay, so that was where we can look for inspiration. The next card is what is waiting for me to manifest into reality. What is waiting for me to manifest into reality? I just know that I've missed out loads of letters in that. To manifest into reality. Um, I've got the Three of Cups. So lots. So for me, like, I mean, I've got three cups cards out of four so far. Lots of cards about connecting with other people. Even the Wands card is a card about celebrating, and that was the card that says a clear way to better connect with others. So for me, the kind of a overriding message that I'm getting here is, I just need to get out and connect with people. Whether that's through celebration, whether that's kind of a smaller gatherings with people and kind of a sitting chatting, that kind of cups, that kind of a being that sounding board, that advising energy for someone. It's all about the connections for me, I think. That seems to be my theme so far. Um, let's see what view's got. The Ace of Swords, Jumping Spider 66 has got the Ace of Swords. Um, so I mean that's the having an ace for what you're going to manifest is quite a broad spectrum, because the aces are the card of potential. It shows the potential of the whole suit. So that Ace of Swords, I mean, that could mean a whole wealth of things. The Ace of Swords for me, fundamentally, it's about having this new potential, this new kind of a feeling of understanding, this new outlook, or kind of a new way of seeing things. Um, but the imagery is very strong. We've got this kind of a sword that's obviously kind of a cuts through all obstacles. So obviously we don't normally literally see it as a weapon that cuts through obstacles. We see it as like this kind of this new understanding of the world, this new way of seeing things, this new kind of a way of understanding what's going on around about you. That is what's kind of taking away the obstacles from you. Um, so yeah, manifesting that into reality, it's going to be this kind of this fresh set of eyes, I think, is maybe what that's suggesting for you. Um, so I know that you were just saying there that, you're obviously, where was it? So you're in a place of figuring out being around others. So maybe your perspective's going to change on that soon. And, once you've manifested that new perspective on things, it's going to kind of it's going to change things for you. I had two cards come out for this position, the King of Pentacles and the Star. Care Bear. Do you know, I think that's that Richie being in the chat that's making people start to pull two cards. Ever noticed that when Richie's pulling cards live, he always kind of falls into, as the live goes on, Richie pulls more and more cards. Anyone notice that? I've noticed it. Not that I'm calling you out or anything, Richie, but I think you're starting to have an effect on my subscribers here. um, he's probably sitting there like a fucking cheeky wee dick. How dare you? I'll pull as many cards as I want. 78 card spread. Um, so the King of Pentacles and the Star. That's so. What do you think that is? I think that's about guidance. I think that's some sort of guiding light, some sort of something to guide you forward, or you being that guidance for someone else. Because yeah, the king, all the kings are wisdom, but the King of Pentacles is that kind of a sensible, that wisdom, kind of a savvy on like kind of a just worldly affairs. And then the Star is that kind of that hope, that guidance, that assistance, that healing after what's maybe quite a traumatic time. I think I need to head to bed and watch the rest back tomorrow. Good night, everyone, says Donna. Marita also got two at once. Um, the Temperance and the Six of Coins, knowing my financial limits. Let's see. Interesting because the Temperance is a card that's moving things from one place to another, and also the Six of Coins does that as well. It rebalances the scales a wee bit when it comes to finances and just resources in general. So it could be about balancing your budget, like you say, but it could also be about balancing your resources. Don't just think about it as finance and money. Think about, Pentacles is all of our resources. It's like it's our health, it's our time, it's the roof over our heads, it's the food that we put in our bellies. It's all of these things. So maybe it is about kind of a manifesting some more of that in your life, or just kind of a balancing things out a bit. Um, okay. Oh, sorry, Ben. You got the King of Cups. I skipped by you there. Um, so manifesting the King of Cups into reality. So how do you see that, Ben? Curious, because with court cards, they're interesting because you can see them in several ways. You could see it as manifesting an actual person, or you could see it as manifesting that kind of an energy that either you're stepping into or it's someone else that is that guiding energy for you. So how do you see that if you're being told, if you're kind of going to manifest the King of Cups? What do you think that means for you? You don't actually have to tell us, by the way. I suppose I'm just curious and being nosy. Um, can you say again what the overall meaning for the spread is? So this is just about unlocking your potential. It's about connecting to your higher self, really, connecting to your full potential. So that's the idea of it. Kind of like moving towards your purpose in life, I guess. Uh, but yeah, it's called unlocking your potential. Thank you for that wider perspective, says Marita. You're welcome. I always used the King of Cups as a significant, so that's interesting. Okay, card 5, a special gift that I was born with. Okay, a special gift that I was born with. So for me, I've got the Ten of Wands. So I'd like to think that this is telling me, maybe it's encouraging me and telling me that I've got the ability to do more than what I think I do. I can manage a lot at once. I can multitask. And yeah, as much as this is often a card of burden, we're always seeing someone who's managing that burden. Um, and no one can really take that away from them. So I think that's important to remember. Um, the advice that often comes with this card, that if it's coming up in an advice type position, is think about breaking it down into smaller, breaking the load down into smaller kind of a pieces. Do you really need to carry all 10 of those ones at once? Could you maybe carry five at one, five, go, do the trip twice, doing five each time? Would that be a lot easier on you? You know? Um, so maybe my ability to problem solve as well, and break tasks down to make them more manageable. I do like to think of myself as being able to organize my time quite well in that way. Um, Although I don't know. Um, but yeah, jumping spider. So you've got the six of wands. That's a really sweet card, I think. So the six of wands, we see it as a kind of on the face of it, as a card about victory and celebration, and you're celebrating your achievements. Um, I think though, if we look deeper at that card, usually what we see is, so we can see. I'm just thinking of like the traditional, the Smithwaite type. But we're seeing someone who's kind of doing that victory march or that kind of a celebratory parade through the streets. But then we also see the crowd and they're supporting them as well. So there's this two-way dynamic, you know. He's energizing all of them. They're living vicariously through his great achievements, and they're being spurred on by that. That's given them a lot of joy and happiness. But also they'll be energizing him as well. They're cheering him on, so that will mean a lot to him. So there's this kind of a two-way dynamic. Um, and I think perhaps what that Six of Wands is telling you is that you do have this ability to, you light up a room that you walk into. You do kind of give off this sense of kind of energy, and you leave people feeling energized that have had the benefit of spending time with you. So again, just kind of jumping back to what you were saying before, jumping spider. I think that um, when the time is right for you, when there does come a time where you find yourself able to kind of spend time with more people, don't discredit the value that you bring to other people just by being yourself and just by being there. Marita, the Ten of Cups. I do have a Cancer Moon, Pisces North Node, and Scorpio Venus. Um, okay. So that Ten of Cups is like, it's fulfillment, um, all of that in the kind of a emotional realm. It's interesting. You've got the Ten of Cups and I've got the Ten of Wands. So we're kind of you've got the water equivalent to my fire. Care Bear's got the Queen of Swords. So quite a sensible outlook on things. I think of the Queen of Swords as being a really, the teacher, and the tarot, the person who's really good at disseminating information, at passing on wisdom. The King of Swords is, very, very wise, and you know, he's a symbol of intelligence. But the Queen creates that environment where we can all grow, where we can all develop our mind, where we can all kind of learn. Um, so yeah, the Queen is that kind of a coach, that teacher. So you're probably whether you know it or not, Care Bear, I don't know what your profession is, but you're probably a really good teacher. And you've probably there's probably a really kind of a nurturing aspect to you. Uh, The Queen of Swords in the Morgan Greer deck is one of my favourite Queen of Swords. There's beautiful pink roses on that, isn't there? I'm generally a contented person as long as I've got someone to love, says Marita. That's nice. Oh, excuse me. Right, last card. How can I use that gift towards my life purpose? How can I use that gift towards my life purpose? I've got the Eight of Wands. Um, Care Bear says, I enjoy teaching my children and eternal learner. Yes, I love the roses on the card. Yeah, they are beautiful. It's a nice card because it's one Queen of Swords where she doesn't look furious. That's one thing about the Queen of Swords is she's often depicted as being really stern. But I think the Morgan Greer does it quite nicely. Okay, my Eight of Wands. So how can I use that gift towards my life purpose? Interesting. So the theme that I was getting, interesting that I've got all cups and wands. Have we noticed this? I've got three wands and I've got three cups. But the theme that I was getting through the first kind of few cards was it was all about connecting with other people. And then it's all of a sudden like, what is your special gift? The Ten of Wands. So my ability to take on a lot. So maybe that's like kind of a taking from other people's burdens. Maybe I can kind of take on a lot of that. I don't know. Um, and how can I use that towards my life's purpose? The Eight of Wands. So for me, this is. I'm not really sure how that fits in, to be honest with you, because the Eight of Wands is a card about um, taking things to the next level, moving from a place of stability, and you're moving forwards. You're transcending what you originally thought was possible. So I don't really know how that fits into the purpose of or to the context of the reading, if I'm honest. But it's interesting that it comes after the Ten of Wands. Uh, so yeah, I maybe need to have a think about that. Jumping Spider says the moon. Um, so the moon is the guiding light that helps people through the dark. And I was listening to Dustin's podcast recently, and he was talking about the moon, and he was talking about how it's amazing how bright the moon is when you live in a rural area and you're not living in an area where there's lots of light pollution. It is truly astounding how bright the moon is in the sky and how much it truly does illuminate. So the moon is that kind of a guiding light through the night, through the darkness, through the times of fear and uncertainty. The moon is what helps us through it. So again, I think that ties quite nicely in with your Six of Wands. Uh, I think of the Eight of Wands as internet fast communication too. So this channel maybe helps. Maybe, yeah, you could well be right. Marita get the moon as well. Everyone's kind of syncing up. um, Kristen's here. Hi, Kristen. It's lovely to see you. We're just finishing up. My moon has two baboons and a snake in the water. Okay, interesting. Um, Yeah, definitely interesting. Has anyone else been pulling cards and wants to share? Ben, are you still with us? Um, Care Bear, did you pull for this round? Ben says, I'm still here, Chris. I got perplexed with the cards that I pulled. That's okay. Sometimes we just need to kind of contemplate a reading, don't we? Um, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I don't think that it's pretty difficult to get the full wisdom of a tarot reading just in one sitting. So I'll probably leave this sitting on my desk for today. Well, for a couple of days, and I'll come back and look at it every so often. And I'll no doubt get kind of a new thoughts about it as I look at it more. Um, Baboons were sacred to the Egyptians, said Marita. Yeah, I think the baboon represents Thoth, doesn't it? So the baboon represents wisdom. Care Bear has the Ace of Swords. Um, so you had the Queen of Swords as your, and then the Ace of Swords. So using that wisdom, and that perspective that you've got to cut through obstacles. That's quite nice. That fits in quite nicely. Um, let's see. I'll keep these cards out and work with it for a few days, says Jumping Spider. Brilliant. Um, okay. Well, that's our spread done. I hope that you have enjoyed this, people. I want to thank everyone that's been here in the chat, keeping the live alive, as it were. Thanks very much for pulling cards with me. I have really enjoyed it. And I think I'll maybe need to do some writing, actually, some journaling about this spread, particularly these last few cards. So we'll see what wisdom comes out. But I hope everyone has an amazing weekend. Take care, and until next time, guys, I'll see you all later. Bye bye.